Welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to not the New Age Outlaws,
Okay.
not the New Age. No, we WWE is owned by TKO, a giant corporation that will take us to the cleaners. So,
I don't think they're listening to us anyway.
hey, have faith. One day,
Well,
one day.
happy Thanksgiving Eve, if that's a thing.
This is the Husky Bible podcast, and happy Thanksgiving Eve as well.
You can see my shirt. It says
From
Happy Turkey
this guy
Day.
who barely, and when I mean this guy, I mean moi. I mean moi. This guy who has mostly Dominican customs, and Thanksgiving is not something that is celebrated in DR, though I heard they actually put it into law to try to make it
Hey, why
a
not?
celebration in DR.
Turkey, man. Turkey.
Like, turkeys is a commodity in DR, man. Like,
Well, have a
that's one of
penny.
the most expensive meats in DR. Like, you want to get turkey, that's like, hey, yeah, that's going to be a pretty penny.
Get a penny.
Or that would be a porky.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, those are you can get the hands over fist. There's swine
right
everywhere
there.
over there. There's swine everywhere. Anyway, so we decided to record this week because, well, we hadn't recorded anything yet, and also the long Thanksgiving weekend is upon us.
Yeah.
Well, we will be partaking in the most important tradition of it all: act like a bear and don't leave the house.
Well, I gotta work tomorrow and
Well, because
Saturday.
you work for the rain, sleet,
Yeah.
or snow people.
And possibility on Sunday, even though that's my day off. But we won't get there.
I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. You make me come out of my bed on a Sunday, like to work.
Well,
I rebuke the devil.
it's OT, man. OT, that's good OT money. That's time and a half right there.
Like, how much quant we're talking about?
We're talking about, well,
A pretty change? No, we're not going to talk exact figures. We're going to talk ballpark figures.
it's a pretty change.
Okay. I'm not. I'm not like the $1 Million Man said. It's not that everybody has a price. So I won't hold out to
I was
the
off
system.
today. I'm off tomorrow. And then I got to work it all out on Friday and Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's that don't work for me, player. That don't work for me, player. Anyways, so we would like to thank everyone that's been watching the reels. Those reels been murking in YouTube on YouTube.
Bro, those especially Joey Diaz ones blew up.
Like, who knew that there were so many Uncle Joey fans out there?
It was crazy.
By the way, speaking of Uncle Joey,
yeah.
have you been listening to the podcast?
I watched about 3/4 of his first one, and I wasn't able to finish it yet. But I think the second one came out yesterday, right?
No, Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Well, actually, Tuesday. It came out on Tuesday.
Yeah, yesterday.
But that is to those of you who don't know who Uncle Joey
who doesn't know
is, Joey Coco Diaz. He's a stand-up comic. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think we've talked about this in a previous podcast, but just in case we're having any new listeners who are not aware of Uncle Joey, we're talking about he's been in a couple of movies. He's appeared here and there. He's most infamously known in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. You know, the big burly dude.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
he was the one
that's where you might know him best. You can't cut me.
I need a cheeseburger and a Diet Coke.
Yeah, he's always gets confused with a certain character in The Sopranos, whose character we cannot repeat because we're good Christian boys now. Has to do something with cats. I don't know. Make of that information what you will. Anyway, so he had a podcast back in the day called The Church What's Happening Now. and that's when he used to live in L.A. And when COVID hit, he literally split everything. He left the comedy scene in LA. He left acting. He left everything, and he just went back to his roots, to New Jersey. So he's living now closer to our neck of the woods. Now
Yeah,
we're in
yeah.
Geekville.
Geekville, yeah.
Yeah, he's living in Geekville. So he's been doing a couple of podcasts. I mean, he had Uncle Joey's Joint, and then he was doing another podcast with Lee Sayat, who was his sidekick on the church, but they were doing it via Zoom. He was getting tired, so they finally found a spot where they can record live. I guess Lee is living in New York and Joey in
Yes.
Jersey, so it's not that much of a far fetched.
Yeah.
New York City, I
New
mean,
York
Lee is
City, yeah.
living like in New York City. So it's not a far fetched conclusion to do that little drive. You know, it's not that long of a drive if you know your geometry or geography in this case, actually. And so they decided to hook up again and do and now the podcast has been rechristened the Church of What's Happening Now, the New Testament. And it's been a wild ride. Just a disclaimer for those of you who are very, who are sensitive in your ears. If you do not like cussing 24/7 and also not keeping it politically correct, this is not the podcast for
Ain't for
you.
you. Ain't for you.
This is not the podcast because there ain't nothing politically correct about Uncle Joe. He says words that will get people canceled, but Uncle Joey just doesn't give a you know what. He doesn't give a flip. And well, it's been an entertaining series of podcasts so far. There's been two since they are in the studio. One with Lee, and this week was with his high school teacher, his gym teacher,
Mm.
his PA teacher, and the stories or PE teacher, sorry, and the stories. Oh, by the way, remember that story? He's changing flavors.
Oh, me?
That's the teacher that coined the phrase.
Yes. Oh my God, he's changing flavor.
Exactly. He brought the teacher that coined the phrase. If you know Uncle Joey, you know his handle on the internet is Mad Flavors World.
He's changing flavor.
So if you're wondering why Mad Flavors, well, that's where the handle comes from because he's changing flavors. What he's changing flavors? Oh, you got to listen to the story.
Oh, that was a good one.
By the way, Uncle Joey tells the story at the very end of the podcast.
Ah, yes.
He tells the story at the end of the podcast, just so those who haven't listened before. I mean, there's some serious bad stuff. I mean, like if you hear the stories, if this dude was still in PE nowadays, he was sure would have been fired. Like you listen to these stories, for sure he would have been fired. Like you say half of the stuff that he said in the podcast that were really happening now in this current age.
Oh yeah.
Dude would have been fired. Like, yeah, you gots to go. You gots to go. Like, this is no bueno. Like, no parent would allow this kind of tomfoolery in a school.
So talking about those shorts, because we got into Joey, one of them has 535 views.
Yeah.
One has 524 views. And then our next topic, most likely, when the wrestling community rallies to support
Yeah.
Dutch Mantle's fundraiser, that has
Mm-hmm.
511.
Well, because wrestling has, ever since Triple H, Papa H, and Papa H we trust, took the reins of WWE. The product just went off the roof. It just broke the ceiling, and it's just keep on rising.
Yeah,
And TKO is now just bathing in all the gold. I mean, they were already making hand over fist money with UFC.
now they're just printing though.
Dude, not even printing. It's like they're the currency.
Yeah,
They are the currency. That's it. Like Like, remember last week the horrible afterthought, aftertaste that we had after the Logan Paul and Mike Tyson
Oh my
fight,
gosh.
and then in comes John Bones Jones and just completely murks that thing, puts it into bed, and like, yeah, this is what a real fight looks like. This is what a man not needing a financial assistance looks like.
That was that match was yeah.
Yeah, it was a certain part of a back part of a body.
It was dog doo doo.
Boo poo, dog poo poo,
Yeah.
or dog poo. Yeah. So yeah. So since you guys seems to like the wrestling, we will give you the wrestling. We will talk about the wrestling.
Happily.
Yeah, we'll talk about the wrestling. So we're gonna talk about Jonathan's favorite wrestler
Oh my gosh.
in the entire existence of life, space, the beginning,
Come on,
the
man.
middle, and the
I got
end,
things to do.
the
I don't
Alpha
have
and
time.
Omega,
I don't have time for it's time.
the Alpha and Omega, the sunrise and sunset for Jonathan as a wrestler. Like, this man lives and breathes under this man's shadow that this man provides. We're talking about none other than Philip Jack Brooks, the happy owner of happy husband of
That's the
April
only.
Mendez,
Yeah, I know who she is.
and the happy owner of Larry the dog. Yes, we're talking about CM Punk. So, just to keep up with the wrestling thing, CM Punk was revealed this past Friday as the fifth man for the Survivor Series War Games match, because it's going to be between the original Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. So the new Bloodline added Bronson Reed as the fifth man. So we got a full set of Polynesian men on one side, and on the other side we had the old Bloodline where Roman, his cousins, the Usos, and Sami Zayn, and they were attempting to get. We're talking about storyline people, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. So they were trying to get somebody to join the team, but since Roman had a reign of terror for the last 4 years, that he was murking everybody in WWE, nobody wanted to touch him with a 10-foot pole. So everybody was like, "Yeah, forget you." So see, long term storytelling. Nobody wanted to rock with the new with the bloodline because the bloodline ran roughshod on everybody. So why would anybody want to help him when he was like destroying everybody, murking everyone? So not only were they one man short, they were going to fight a 4 versus 5 match, and it was almost down to time. But lo and behold, out of the blue, the wise man Paul Heyman showed up, and he said there will not be 4 against 5. It will be 5 against 5. And I got the fifth member right here. And out comes your favorite wrestler of all time,
They
CM
were
Punk.
they were better off without him.
And they do a segment. They beat the crap out of the new bloodline. And then we have a little interesting face to face between Roman and CM Punk, where CM Punk tells Roman, "I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for him," pointing at Paul Heyman. And Roman tells CM Punk, "That's my wise man." And Punk says, "We'll see." So it leaves things in a cliffhanger. So like, yeah, on paper it would seem that the new bloodline is going to win. Why? Because at least everybody there gets along. Whereas the old bloodline, like that is a very thinly loose thread that's binding all of those guys together. Like they're together, but not by like love or family. They're like together because of conveniences, happenstance. Because Roman hasn't asked for forgiveness for anybody. He's still, everybody still sees him as an a-hole. And the cousins, Jay is like giving him side eyes. Sammy also had some problems. And CM Punk, has no relation with those guys whatsoever. No relation with those guys whatsoever at all. So And storyline is going to be interesting to see. That's going to be the main event for this coming pay per view Survivor Series on this Saturday. So those of you who have the time and also have Peacock, because soon to be starting January, Peacock is no longer going to be the house of WWE. It will be a Netflix. Yes, everything's going to be moving to Netflix, including the premium live events. So if you still got your subscription, I mean, I know some of you cheapos just want to see Yellowstone. Ain't got no other option. So okay, we'll see it in Peacock. Well, the other main reason why you have Peacock is about to bounce. So word to the wise, follow the money.
Well, they
You
do
know what to do.
show they do show baseball on there
Once in
once in a
That's
blue.
another whole
Football.
that in itself is a whole nother ball of wax that we go into that we're gonna go into some dark murky waters, but I'm just gonna leave it at this. Traditional media is dying a thousand deaths. Everything now is going digital. So take that. We'll just leave it at that because that can go into other murky waters which
To a whole different
we
podcast.
traditionally avoid
Whole
because
different
you
podcast.
got the rest of the internet for that stuff. Like you want to get into that stuff? May I recommend Twitter
X.
or X or whatever? What's the new one that everybody's moving out to?
Thread.
No, the other one, blue something.
Oh, I don't know. There's something
Dude,
new out
like
there.
no, I'm done. Like I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. Like I got my options limited. Like I barely check my Facebook and Instagram. That's pretty much it. Like I have other social medias, but they're like just collecting dust.
Yeah,
And then you
to
have
put something
TikTok,
new.
which is going to die soon in January because it will be banned here
Nah,
in the
what I
states.
heard with this new person coming in January, he wants to cancel all that and keep it going.
No, but the TikTok thing was canceled by the Biden administration.
Well,
But
then,
let's not go there.
yeah,
Let's
we'll
not go there.
just we're gonna
Let's
keep
not
this
go there. Let's
podcast
just
the way we always kept it.
let's not go there. Let's just leave those people be because they don't pay nothing here.
We don't.
They ain't got nothing
Only
to do.
Vince and Joey does.
What?
Only Minky Juice does.
Inca
And
Juice
the
has a
OG Minky
permanent
Juice.
place in this in this podcast. He ain't going nowhere.
He forever here.
So continuing with our model citizen here, CM Punk, man of the hour, the man with the power. It's been reported that in WWE, he already hit the year mark in WWE since he came back. He already hit the year mark,
Oh
so he's
yeah.
been back for a year. And the report on him has so far is that he's been a model citizen, very cooperative, very helping. It could be that also that this company is being run by a multinational or $1 billion corporation that actually has consequences and repercussions in case stuff happens. I wouldn't also add to the fact that probably that contract might have some asterisks in the side, like if you do this, that's your behind. So
You,
you know,
you know lepers can't change their stripes, right?
look, independently of why the reasons he's behaving, it's good that he's behaving and not causing scuffles here and there, and not choking out people's in the back in backstage.
Yeah, I don't see him going to Triple H and choking him out though.
No, he choked out a co-worker in the other company. Triple H would not be considered a co-worker; would be considered his boss.
Oh, okay.
Because Triple H retired from in-ring competition, so he's no longer a wrestler.
I got you.
But well, let's leave Punky Brewster alone for a moment. Let him attempt Larry and count his millions.
I'm just itching over here.
We'll talk a little bit about his forced partner into this coming Saturday's Premium Live event, Roman Reigns. He did a rare interview this week out of character, which is rare. He normally does his interviews in character. So he basically was talking as himself, Joe Anoa'i, and he was asked if he had any problems with the change up that WWE did this year with the WrestleMania main event, because the original plan was for The Rock to be his opponent, and then they switched it to Cody. And his honest to God response was, "I don't care. Everybody was fighting over to dance with me, so I didn't care who. As long as I was the main event, I was good." In other words, I'm getting paid. I don't care who I'm getting paid with, as long as I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
So it's that. Another thing for WWE, Jade Cargill, who was a former AEW talent that was made by AEW, that went to WWE last year, or was it this year? I don't remember. Anyway, she is out for 3 months because she got hurt. We wish her the best. And then we're gonna have to go to a certain mutant side quest here, and it's still wrestling related. But
Mm-hmm.
have you heard of the Costco guys?
No.
Thank you. You have restored my faith in humanity. uh, I was not aware of who these individuals were. I had to ask ChatGPT to tell me who they are because I am out of the loop. Because apparently, these people are famous on TikTok.
Okay.
And I wouldn't touch TikTok
Me
for the
either.
life of me,
I'm not
because
touching that at all.
I would like to keep my brain with my IQ where it is.
Yeah, I really don't have enough IQ or brain to lose
Well,
enough to
I
lose.
already
So
stored enough information. I don't want to lose information.
yeah, I hear you, man.
So anyway, the Costco guys is a duo featuring AJ Befumo, also known as Big Boom AJ, and
Who?
his son, Big Justice. AJ rose to fame on TikTok for his comedic Costco reviews and original content, amassing a following of over 2.3 million. So he's getting paid by TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting paid. Prior to his social media success, AJ wrestled on the New Jersey independent wrestling circuit under the name Eric Justice. Recently, AJ made his debut in AEW, All Elite Wrestling, in the Full Gear 2024 event during its 0 hour pre show. So he wrestled in the pre show for AEW.
Didn't know they had a pre-show.
Yeah. No. That in itself, that sentence that I just read
Hmm?
encapsulates what AEW is at this point. I
An
understand that
afterthought.
you want to get a fan base, or you want to get attention, and they did get attention. Like ESPN even did some reporting on this because the dude is a media sensation, and social media is all the rage now. If you get some sort of attention, everybody gets their like 5 minutes of fame,
Well,
and
if you
these Costco guys are milking it for all it's worth right now.
well, if you
To
look
know.
at the Paul brothers,
Oh yeah,
they were YouTube. They're YouTube famous. That
and they
just
found new ways how to
yeah. They
scam the system.
yep yep.
I mean, it's big. Look, so I can't necessarily poo-poo on these guys either because they're basically following the Paul formula. They're
Yeah.
basically following
A
the Paul
lot of these
formula.
people are now.
Yeah. So you
It's
can't
smart.
blame the hustle. Like, you don't hate the player.
Exactly.
Don't hate the player. But the fact that like, because at least with I can't completely poo-poo on this guy either because at least he was a wrestler, like independent wrestler, nonetheless. But he was a wrestler, like he knows his profession. So I was gonna be like angry at him, but when I found out he was an independent wrestler, I was like, okay, so I mean, good for him. He got to finally, be on show up and wrestle for, I guess, the number two company in the United States in terms of wrestling. I guess I mean, by default, just because it has a network behind it. But I mean, we'll talk about that later. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not gonna poo-poo on them because again, they're after their money. They're getting paid. God bless. That's the American way. You adapt, overcome, get your money, get your paper, and God bless them. And but that necessarily, I don't know. It just to me it speaks more on the state of AEW than anything else. And we're gonna get into that. Like I remember back in the day how we would talk about how Minky Juice, Vince McMahon,
Hmm.
was so petty with his wrestlers, like not letting them uh like they would literally sit people in the back, not doing anything, and have the same matches on loop for a month. Like have the same guys do the same match on every Raw and SmackDown for a month, whereas the rest of the roster is like, yeah, they're playing bingo in the back. You know? Or the I don't know, playing baseball, I don't know, playing cards, whatever.
So literally, when you saw Bradshaw and Farouk playing
Hmm.
poker,
Basically,
that was just a
basically,
normal
like what
segment.
the
They were
APA was
just
doing, but doing it for reals.
yeah. What were they called
Anyway,
again?
so there's this wrestler in AEW called Ricky Stark. He is a great wrestler. He also happens to be one of Cody Rhodes' good friends,
Okay.
and he did the mistake, quote unquote, of being recorded on a security camera going to WrestleMania with Cody. Like he was part of Cody's entourage,
Okay.
but he never showed up on TV. Like his face never showed up on TV. He was like in in an upper
Hmm.
deck a sky view thing. He
That's
never
sweet.
showed up on TV. The only image that you know that shows that he was there was him going being shown by that security camera. So
Okay.
guess what AEW did? They punished him. So he hasn't been on TV in months. Like the rest this entire year, he has not been on TV. He has not wrestled one match this entire year, and it's not because the guy is hurt. He's fine. He's fine. He is physically fine. And so, guess what? So, dude's got to eat. I mean, yeah, he's getting a guaranteed contract with AEW. But if your profession is professional wrestling, and you're not wrestling, like if somebody stops, make you stop doing the thing that you love, guess what? You're gonna seek life elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Now, under the independent contractor thing that they have, they were allowed to go to independent shows. So Ricky Starks broker a deal with GCW, which is an independent wrestling company, and he showed up. And he was scheduled to go to the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York to make an appearance there because that's where GCW does their appearance. Guess what the AEW did now? They canceled out that appearance and said, no, you can't use it no more. And you know why? Because he publicly said that AEW would not let him wrestle.
This is the same company that's bleeding money, and now they have a conscience. Like my man, what are you doing? Like, is he good?
Yes, he is.
So one of your good wrestlers went to an event that was barely seen. He was barely seen for
Like
except one camera.
you have to be a wrestling mark to know that this thing happened.
Okay, no one in the world saw him except for one camera.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of your best wrestlers, and now you're bleeding money, and now you're not letting him wrestle.
They have over half the roster hurt, and the people that are wrestling right now, they're performing moves so dangerous that you're like they're literally cutting years out of their lives. Like by the time they're in their 50s, they will be in wheelchairs. By the time they hit in their 50s, they will be in wheelchairs because they're wrestling a style that because you say whatever about WWE and you say, oh, the WWE style is boring. Well, when was the last time you saw somebody die from WWE? Like all the guys that are dying, it's just the old breed. Like these new guys, they're gonna live a good long life. Why? Because they got people taking care of them. They got people on top of that stuff.
Look at how long Taker lasted. You think if he was doing the stuff that they're doing in AEW, that he would last as long as he did? Dude wrestled for
Uh,
what, 20 plus years?
And I don't think Taker would wrestle that style either. I don't think he would.
But still, putting people through tables, him going through a table. How much time? You know what I mean? That takes a toll on your body for 20 plus years.
Yep.
Look at McFoley.
Oh
The
God.
dude can barely walk. The dude walks hunched over.
I got them up. I got them up here. Well, you've been
Yeah.
here enough.
So, yeah, you need to change your style. I understand you want to be this high flying.
Yeah, they want to
You
be
can't.
they want to be the counter product to WWE. But I think that at the end of the day, in some ways, they became what WWE was under Minky Juice because now they're considered the boring company. Like if you and we'll talk about this other thing because one positive thing I will say about AEW is that
They're going to cancel
since
their
they
shows.
suffered a lot. No, they suffered a lot because of what we talked on previous podcasts about the venues. Not filling up,
Yeah.
empty arenas and whatnot. They decided, and I can understand why they didn't do the change sooner because probably all these venues were already taken beforehand and they were under contract, and probably the venue didn't want to release the contract, and there would have been a whole ordeal. I would imagine that, and I can understand that. But seeing how things went this year, they went to the decision of going to smaller venues now as of starting 2025,
Okay.
which I commend them because why the heck would you book an arena of 1,500 people or 15,000 people when only 1,000 people is going to show up? So and they already started with their show that we're going to do in Australia.
Okay.
They had booked a giant arena, 56,000 seater in Australia, and they already rebooked it and changed the venue, and they got a place that's got maybe like 3,000.
So they've become smarter.
Yeah. Oh, like if you started hurting, like giving out tickets for 40% off, and nobody wanted to touch that because they think that that's infested by the plague of Satan.
Must be, man.
like, like, oh, you finally learned. Oh, you learned today. You finally learned today. Okay, you gonna learn today. No, you finally learned. Okay. I mean, maybe Daddy Khan was like, boy, you wasting so much money. I don't know. Like this thing is
Hmm.
hemorrhaging money. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. And it's not that like if people listen to this podcast, they think like, oh, you another podcast that is poo pooing all over AEW. It's not about that. It's just like I want them to do good because I want it to be a second company because WWE for the longest time was the be all end all.
Well, they bought all their competition because
Yeah, no,
they were
but
the big
the
bad guy. They were Big
yeah,
Brother.
but the problem was that if you got released from WWE, then what? You know
You ain't feeding your kids.
exactly. So if there's another company that's willing to give you good money as a performer, God bless, and I want them to succeed. But my dude, you're doing it wrong. It's the same complaints that we had with WWE back in the day, like all the screw ups they were doing, all the screw ups that they were performing. I was like, no, dude, this is not right. And now that they finally made the course correct and they're doing things correctly, you're like, well, thank you for listening to us finally and putting and setting that shit back to where it should be. But damn, AEW is like poop is wetting the bed and sitting on it all day, every day. It's like you want them to do good, but like again, like I'm just thinking about, for example, Edge or Adam Copeland, as he's going by his real name because WWE owns the name Edge. Why would you have Edge, a man that came back from career-ending injuries, a man that was told that if he took another bump, he was not is going to be ending up as a quadriplegic? Why would you have this man throw himself from the top of a cage to break his foot? Like, this is an unnecessary bump from a professional wrestler and a legend in the game that doesn't need to take that kind of bump. Like, he's bigger than. It's like you're not gonna expect the Undertaker to throw himself off a cage at age 50. Like, do you want him to die? Is this where we're getting to now? Like, we're paying pay-per-views not to see a dude die? Like, no, man, like use your head. Don't you want these guys to live longer so that way they can keep making money and make you money in return? So I don't see the win-win in this situation. Like people getting legitimately hurt. I mean, yes, it's fast-paced. It's a lot of action. I get that, and it's not that AEW doesn't deliver the goods. Sometimes they do, but damn it, if you're just gonna make them destroy each other this way, like it don't make no sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know you're a little bit more of an outsider than I am,
Yeah.
but does this make any sense to you?
No, when you have something that good that's making you Quan and you go and mess, it's like taking an autographed baseball from Babe Ruth and it was like, oh, this is use it for batting practice. Something you don't do.
I think I've seen that plot before.
Well, it just came to my head. Any autographed baseball. Let me take an Aaron Judge baseball and be like, let me go play catch in the parking lot.
We're not gonna mention Juan Soto, right?
Huh?
We're not gonna mention Juan Soto, right?
Oh, he'll come, a little later on. But um, any baseball that you get autographed by a major league baseball player, you're not gonna go throw it in the parking lot and be like, let's go play regular catch with it. It's something.
That's
It's
base.
just you don't do that. You got like you said, a legend and Adam Copeland, aka Edge,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go jump off a cage. Why not? See what
I
happens.
might
Maybe
hurt
you'll land it,
myself.
maybe you're not. It's
Like
a
I
50-50
might
chance,
hurt
buddy.
myself. I might die.
It's like, come on.
It's like go for it.
See if you can do it.
Wouldn't it be a cool story if you survived? Would it be even a cooler story if you didn't? It's like, are you out of your damn rocker? Are you out of your damn mind?
It's what happens when you have money. You're just like, money ain't a thing.
So he's gonna be like, oh, the dude died in the ring. Throw money at it. Yeah. Last time I checked, money don't resurrect people.
No, don't.
Money can do a bunch of stuff,
Not that.
except that it can murk somebody. It can definitely pay for a murking contract, but it don't work nothing on resurrection department. Yeah, I've seen a lot of examples about that. People were like, yeah, I changed my mind. Yeah, the job is
Your
done.
job's done.
Job is done. No refunds. There's definitely, and believe you me, there ain't definitely no refund on that one. It's like that Humpty Dumpty thing. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
That's crazy.
Once you break that Humpty Dumpty, it is done. It is salu.
Even his football team is losing money.
Ah, God.
I mean, come on.
I mean, did he at least took a college course on like administration? I don't know.
Nah, he was just like, I got my family's made out of money. I'm just gonna go spend some money.
He's like, Daddy, how much money we have? Beep. Okay, so I'm just gonna spend half of that building a wrestling company out of nowhere.
But I promise we'll be successful for a few years. But then I think Triple H is gonna take over WWE, and we're
Oh
just gonna
god.
be losing money after that.
And you know what the funny thing is? WWE actually approached the Young Guns, the Young Bucks, sorry, the Young Bucks, and the other guys from AEW. They actually founded the company. They
Mm-hmm.
actually approached them and sent them contracts, and they were like, "No, thank you."
Well,
I mean, did they bet on the wrong horse or what?
you wanna.
I mean, the Young Bucks, God bless them, they've always betted on themselves, and they were making money hands over fist in the Indies. Like, no joke, they were making millions in the independent. Like, they were literally independent wrestlers, but they were the first one. Like, they understood the marketing of it, so they had T-shirts up galore. And since they were like very flashy tag team wrestling, like it reminded you back in the day, like the old Rockers. Well, you wouldn't remember, you weren't back. You didn't watch the Rockers back in the day. But if you watched the Rock and Roll Express and the Rockers in the '80s, late '80s or mid to late '80s, that's the style of wrestling that they had, and also a little bit more flashy, and to the detriment of also what the product is now, that they so flashy that it's dangerous. Going back to what we're talking about in AEW, not to throw more water on that, be
Yeah.
more that dead
Well.
horse. But the thing is that they had that opportunity, and I would want to know if they right now look at the situation and be like, yeah, we kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
Hmm. Yeah. Well.
But it is what it is. I mean, right now things are not looking that well for AEW. I hope they do get a. I'm not saying, look, it's not realistic that they can compete with WWE. Like, that's not even the point. It's not even
Not
the point,
anymore.
and that's their mistake, by the way. They think that they can actually compete with WWE. Like, lay off the weed, lay off all of that,
Yeah. I don't know how
lay
you.
off all the psychedelics,
I don't know how you think
leave
that.
all that narcotic alone. Like, stop it with all that stuff. Like that is crazy talk. Just be you, but make it a more safer thing and make it something that makes actually sense. Like, they have people being good guys and bad guys more times than the Big Show was back in WWE. You know, the Big Show has the record for being the guy who's done more turns. I mean, he even joked about it. He said, "I know I done more turns than NASCAR."
Yeah. That's it's crazy. It's like you turn on and you say, "Oh, Big Show. Who we getting
It's
today?"
like,
Well,
yesterday, Big Show was a good guy. 2 seconds later, I
not
mean, there
anymore.
probably was shows that he was a good guy and a bad guy at least 3 times in one show.
It's crazy.
It's like, how many times R-Truth was the WWE 24/7 champion? The exact amount of times that Big Show was a bad guy. Like, if you start a drinking game between R-Truth becoming the 24/7 champion and Big Show becoming
Oh,
a
you
bad
drunk?
guy, no, you would have to be checked into the hospital because your alcohol levels would be through the roof.
Yeah, you ain't standing up. You ain't.
Like,
All
if
you can do is
they
lay
cut you in
down.
the veins, you'll be dripping Jack Daniels.
That's a good time.
101 proof.
That's a good time.
Woo!
No, no, that's a whole different time.
Oh, we're talking about the master and the ruler right there.
Limousine driving.
We're talking about a man that lived the gimmick. That was not a gimmick for him. That was a Tuesday.
That was a normal day.
Oh, that just reminds me of that line from Street Fighter. The day Lord Bison graced your town, it was the greatest day of your life to me. That was Tuesday.
Just a Tuesday.
Any hoodles, you had something to say
What I gotta say?
about a certain individual that be in prison right now, about
Oh,
somebody singing.
that you wanna continue it?
Oh yeah, we go there.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna
go
go
there.
there. Let's go there.
Okay,
Let's
well,
go there.
everyone by now knows, but Jamie Foxx was doing a show, comedy show.
By the way, who those who may not be aware because younglings and whatnot. Jamie Foxx before doing the Jamie Foxx show and Living Color and all that stuff. Jamie Foxx was a stand-up comic, so he's returning back to his roots. Continue.
Yeah, so Jamie Foxx was doing a special. Well, not a special, but he was doing a show, and he came out with saying, "Yeah, I called the feds on Diddy. That mother effer poisoned me and tried to kill me."
Oh Lord.
And I
Oh
had to
Lord, he
read
said
that
it.
twice. I was like,
He
hold
done
up,
said it.
hold up, hold up. All right, clean the glasses. All right. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
snitched on him.
Wait. Let me clean my glasses. Lord Jesus.
He was like, yeah, I snitched on him. That was me who called them on him.
Ahí gran poder de
And
Dios.
I was just like, well, that's the moment Diddy knew.
He done effed up.
Yep.
He done wet the bed.
And this dude is still having more counts coming towards him.
Ooh, Lordy Lord.
Last time I read, there was another 23 new counts on him.
And not to add any more insult to the injury, Cat Williams is going to be on Club Shay Shay again in January.
Well,
And he said that this time he coming with all the receipts. He said, last time were jabs. This time I'm going for the knockout punch.
well, that should
So
be
it's
good.
basically like if you Roman Catholic, it's going to be like, nombre di padre, de like last rites that dude. It's over. It's over. It's done. It is done.
So, I guess that show he did, it's going to become a Netflix special, and it's set to premiere in December.
Abandono esta tierra perdida.
So, yeah, so then you got
He
that
cooked.
in December, and now you got Cat Williams back at Club Shay Shay in January. Well,
That's a 1-2 punch right there.
We're gonna end the year on a high note and come in with a banger.
That just reminds me of Mike Tyson back in '86.
Oh, dude.
Murking people left and right. It was just a 1-2 combination and it was over.
Dude, I remember when we bought a Mike Tyson pay-per-view. My brother-in-law bought it, right?
We're talking about like the mid '90s?
No, when was it? Mid-90s, maybe early 2000s?
Late '90s?
Maybe, yeah, something around there. That's when Tyson was still like one punch and you're done. And what was it? Was it? I don't know when it was.
It couldn't have been the '80s because you were
No, it wasn't in the
toddler.
'80s. It was either late '90s or early 2000s.
Well, that's when he was getting long in the tooth.
Yeah, but I think he was still fighting decent. But anyway,
Decent-ish.
the cable went out on the whole street right when his fight it was about to begin. We called the company. We were like, "What the hell are you doing? What's wrong? What's wrong with our cable?" Blah, blah, blah. Cable goes back on. Tyson was doing the interview.
It was over.
It was over.
It was over.
We call the cable company up and says,
Is that
"You
the
owe
one he
us
was
a
talking
refund
about?
on this fight."
Like, my back is broke. Is that the one he was saying, my back is broke?
I don't remember,
Spinal.
bro. But it was hilarious. We just called up the cable company. Was like, "You owe us money for this pay-per-view. I want at least half of it back." Because that's crazy. That is nuts.
So yeah, we get in. We basically the moral of the story, kids. No Diddy is going to become a thing.
Oh yeah.
Even more than it is now.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be a cautionary tale for you, boys and girls. Also, add to the fact, if you believe this sort of thing, that they're going to release all the invites in January. All the people that were invited, all the Diddy parties.
That's not good, man. Because we're going to see some names on there that
You know
that
the
the
amount
world
of
is going to
people
be
that
shut
went to
down.
those things. You know the amount of people that went to those things.
Oh yeah.
I
I
mean,
believe it.
like even if you did go and really nothing really happened to you,
You're still
it's
put in
just
that
guilt by
group.
association.
Yeah, you're still put in that group of people that like, hello.
Yeah, it's like it's like a, like it's the whole Jeffrey Epstein all over again. The Epstein list is the Epstein list. Like there are probably people that went there to legitimately go to a party, not participate or partake into the old other dark stuff that we can't talk about. And just by the association that they were there, that means like, oh, you were participating in that. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Dude, I don't know if we said this on air. I remember telling you this, or I tell you off air. Dude had a 30-foot bed in his yard.
Diddy or
Diddy.
Epstein? Oh.
A bed
No,
that
what I
makes
find,
Shaq look small in it.
I
In
can
his
tell you this.
backyard.
I can tell you this. That bed wasn't for prayer.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
They weren't seeking the Lord in that bed. They weren't seeking the Lord in that bed. I can tell you that much. There was all the Diddying. That's where all the Diddying
He
happened.
go that dude. Jeff Bezos is
But
the
this
only
is a
one
no
that's
Diddy
missing out
song
on
here.
it. What are we gonna do with all this baby oil Diddy order? You can't use it now.
Johnson and Johnson going out of business.
Bezos like, oh, I guess we gotta cancel his subscription to that.
I'm like, what we gonna do with all these damn baby oils? What we gonna do with all these damn baby oils? We ain't got that much babies. We can send them to Africa. We ain't gonna do that. That's where we send the losers to Super Bowl t-shirts. Bunch of kids.
I can't laugh because
the wrong
that
team
means
t-shirts.
the Yankees t-shirts are over there.
Oh God, you had to go there.
Well, it's my
You had
team,
to
bro.
go there.
It's like, come on.
I mean, I think they didn't even print it because how that series went. They didn't have time to print that. I mean, after they won that one game, they were like, "Should we print them?"
Yeah,
They were like, "Should we?" And the people were like, "No, give them time. They'll choke.
nah.
Give them time. They'll choke."
Well, this could bring us into our last segment.
Yeah.
No signing by Juan Soto. He had all the meetings.
Yeah. He psyched the media though, and making
bro,
pretend
I
that
almost cried.
he's
This dude,
whoever's his successor. My respects. My respect. That was well played.
this
Well played.
dude went on Instagram, posted a video, and was like, "Okay, I have the announcement everyone's been waiting for." Takes out a baseball cap and says, "I choose Celsius." All right, and
That's
then
world class trolling
have
right
the
there.
cojones and says, "Oh, is that not the announcement you were waiting for?" Nah, man. You just play with everyone's emotions. What's wrong with you?
That's like last year when Snoop Dogg said he quit smoking,
Oh,
and it turned out that it was just for smokers, for ovens.
and then on top of that, that's just as bad as LeBron James coming New York background and saying, "I'm taking my talent to South Beach." Man, why you gotta do that here? Should have done it in Cleveland in your house. You coming
Let's
to
not
New
talk
York
about the
for and
Knicks.
saying that?
Let's not talk about the Knicks.
Anyway, 6
Let's not
teams
talk
gave
about
him
the Knicks.
offers. Okay, and then I just before we came on to record, I just saw that the Yankees gave him a second offer. They added more to that
Any
offer.
specifics?
No, I mean they really didn't give us anything with Judge either, and the media is not going to do anything anymore after what happened with Judge last year or the year before. I mean, slipping that Judge was going to the Giants, San Francisco Giants, And then this dude, like 2 minutes later, was like, "Oh, my bad. No, no, no. He's not going. Oh, because you saw him on a plane. He lives in San Fran."
The problem is that there's an issue now with news in general. Is like be first, not necessarily right.
Yeah, well, that's things that get you killed.
But that's not good being a good journalist. Like
Yeah,
if you're gonna be
well,
a good journalist, you better
listen,
tell it as is, the facts.
but
But look, I'm gonna be like Saint Thomas. You remember Saint Thomas from the Bible?
no.
When Jesus resurrected, he was like, "If I don't put my finger inside them holes, I ain't believing nothing."
Well,
Like I better put my fingers inside those holes to see if it was true that he came back. Thomas, Jesus resurrected. I gotta put my finger gotta go inside those holes to see if it's true. And Jesus just acquiesced him and like, okay, here's my hands. Go for it.
yeah, but we're gonna end it on a good note. Am I ever gonna say that? Oh, this is one more baseball topic.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Tell me how the Dodgers signed Blake Snell, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think it's a 5 year. Yeah, it's 5 years, $182 million contract, right? And this mother
Mother lover.
is defying like the 80 million of it, deferring it, just like Soto did. I mean, Otani did on his bid. So
QC1.
they're gonna back pay him when he's done, and the signing bonus on top of that. I'm just like, how is baseball allowing the Dodgers to keep doing this?
I know the Dodgers are a big corporation. And I know they're one of the few baseball teams that actually print money, especially lately with all the winning that they've been doing lately. But California, realistically speaking, takes 50% of whatever you make. Over 50.
But still, man.
So, how in God's name are these people getting away with offering these type of contracts to these ball players? Like, if you have any sense of logic, you're like, so they enticing you with just like the ballpark figure, and you're not taking into account the overwhelming discounts that are coming your way just because you decided to play ball for California. It's like
It's crazy. I'm reading it
I
here
don't
now.
understand that. Like from a business perspective, I don't understand that. Like if you want to live in California, you like California, God bless, go for it. But know in advance that you're gonna get scammed out of a lot of money out of your money because it's not cheap living there. I'm not saying that our neck of the woods is cheap either,
Well, they're bad.
but it's not California level yet.
But it's
God
bad.
forbid.
Just bad.
It's bad, but it's not California level.
So he gets a $52 million signing bonus along with $13 million per season in deferrals over 5 years.
Where's this money coming from?
This signing bonus helps to give back Snell some of the present day monetary value lost in deferring $65 million until later. Still, Snell gets a check for $52 million as a signing bonus, but that value is spread out across 5 years of his contract in Dodgers books for CPT purposes. In terms of this competitive balance tax, the deferral doesn't change things much. Like, bro,
like Bobby Bonilla is gonna look like a little tubby, like a little gnome you put in your front yard. They're like, you remember when they used to give Bobby Bonilla like $1 million every year? Yeah, good times.
Yeah,
this ain't nothing. That was just chump change. Like the Dodgers just woke up one morning, was like, hold my beer.
It's crazy.
Like if these ball players don't work, I mean, right now it is paying dividends now, but in the long run, that thing I think is gonna bite them in the rear end.
Well, like you said, tax purposes is just gonna. It's just like you're gonna get a lump sum of the rest of the money that's owed to you after 5 years, and it's gonna be crazy.
But I think eventually, at the end of the day, they're gonna get this is gonna bite them in the rear end
Oh,
in the long run. Like right now, yeah, they're swimming in all the benefits right now. They're enjoying the benefits of their labor right now. But eventually, it ain't gonna look good.
and one last thing before we get out of here. Del- Denzel Washington, as we talked about last week,
Oh yeah,
confirms
he's planning retiring.
he's planning on retirement, and he says he has a few movies left in him. Gladiator is one of them, which is in theaters now, which is doing pretty well, as I
Mm-hmm.
heard. Denzel Washington confirms two more Equalizer.
Equalizers.
A
So,
yay to that.
you who were crying
I
because I
was,
mean, right
hey, hey,
now,
hey, hey, I wasn't crying. I was
well,
upset.
you were complaining,
Yes, I was
complaining.
complaining that we need him to close it out.
Yeah, because John Wick allegedly bit the dust. Allegedly,
Allegedly, yeah. Well,
allegedly.
just like John Wick
Although
did
he
to.
is going to show up in Ballerina, but again, due to Ballerina being a prequel. But hey, what if this Ballerina movie, because that Ballerina movie is in the John Wick world, and John Wick does make an appearance, because I saw the trailer and he shows up in the end of the trailer. What if this ballerina chick is the explanation as to how John Wick survived?
Okay, but we're
I'm
not
just going to
talking
leave it at
about
that.
that. We're talking about Equalizer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But just fantasy booking here.
We're
Humor me.
fantasy
Humor
booking,
me.
but I just slow roll. I don't think Wick movies are done. I already told you this,
Yeah, but I need a more. I need an explanation of how he could have survived, because we saw him get. Well,
dude.
we didn't see him actual croak.
I don't think he's dead.
We didn't see him croak.
Yeah,
Like we didn't see him kick the bucket.
this can just be maybe like a break in between. Like, you know what? These movies are kicking my butt. I'm getting older. Let me just give you a few like pop up. But let's do this like little side gig. Give her a couple movies, and then I'll come back and maybe
I
finish
mean,
my run.
like if we're gonna be realistic, we went to see John Wick 4 in the
Yeah,
theater. Uh, you're gonna tell me a bullet did what falling off a 4-story building,
exactly. There you go.
uh, and a plethora of other stuff that happened during the movie. You're gonna tell me all that stuff didn't do him, but that little itty bullet did?
And he's wearing
Stop
his
lying!
armor.
Stop lying!
And he
Stop
was
lying!
wearing his armor suit. So I don't believe. I'm thinking, Laura Fishburne's gonna come out of somewhere and be like, "Man, I saved him again."
Okay, going back to Equalizer, we're gonna get more McCullough.
That's right.
We're gonna get more murking, more people getting sliced with a timer of 30 seconds.
Okay, go.
Uh, the last one had Dakota Fanning, so it was a nice reunion from
The first
the
one.
previous movie they both of them had made together back in the day, like 20 something years ago.
But yeah, he was a bodyguard, right? He
Man
was
on Fire.
Man on Fire, but he was the bodyguard for her, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was another revenge movie.
Yeah.
He took it to another level. My favorite line from that movie was like, repentance is between him and God. I'm just here to arrange the meeting. That is
That's a
cold.
sick line. I gotta watch that movie again.
That is cold. Son. That is so cold. Like, yeah, yeah, I believe in forgiveness. I'm just gonna arrange the meeting though. They can talk it over. I'm just gonna send him to him. If he happens to end somewhere else, well, I guess the good Lord made his decision.
That's not on me.
That ain't on
I
me.
did my job.
Hey, I was the good Christian man that helped set up a meeting.
I was just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
You meet God.
Like
If you don't
you
meet
want to
God,
see God?
that's
Let
not
me
on
take you
me.
to him. I'm gonna show you God right now. You gonna see God right now. I'll put two in the head and hasta la vista. A volar. Fly.
On that note,
Oh, we always end it
we're
in a
going
nice
to end
note.
it
Huh?
there. TeePublic Black
Yeah.
Friday sale, 40%
Oh
off.
yeah. Oh yeah.
40, not 30, not 35, but 40. Go
Go
buy,
get them.
go buy stuff. Help the
Go buy
podcast
stuff.
and feed
The link will
Ariel's
be in the
pockets.
description. The
Um,
link will be in the description.
it's always in the description.
Also, remember huskybarbupod.com. Also, our social media, Husky Barbu Pod. Our individual social medias, that Ariel Duran and Johnny Boy 426. So, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Have a
Turkey
great
Day.
weekend. Take
Have a
care.
good rest of the week.
Yeah,
And
don't stuff yourself with turkey. Remember, there's another day after that. After that day,
well, if
the
you're
world won't end.
if you're like me, you have to work Friday.
Well,
Just relax.
Just prepare accordingly.
And just save yourself from watching the Cowgirls and the Giants on tomorrow. Just do that. All right, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.